All right, you guys, it is. Oh, let me pull my mic a little closer so you can hear me. Sorry about that. All right, hello. It's your community manager Jana. It is October 16th. This is our live. Sure, I'm looking at my right camera here. Getting settled in. I'll wait another minute or two. I just want to say welcome. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the month, and we are almost halfway through a season of fall, if you can believe it. Just take a minute. I know every time I come on here, it kind of sounds like I'm a broken record, but I think it's because we all need to be told repeatedly it's okay to stop and take a breath and reflect and evaluate on where we're at, where we want to be, what our expectations have been, and if we're moving in that direction. I'm curious to know by a show of hands, comments in the post, if you're familiar with this concept of the October lull. Last year we coined it or we'd heard it, the term, and so we used it October flats. And before last year, I don't think I ever really thought about it in this way. But even if autumn is one of your favorite season or it is your favorite season, there is something about the change of this season that causes us to slow down and gives us a little bit more time, not figuratively, because our days are definitely getting shorter. So maybe more time in the evening when it is dark and you're not taking the dogs for a long walk or having the kids ride their bikes when your partner gets home or you finish up your day. Those days are getting shorter. Depending on where you're living, they're getting cooler. I've got long sleeves on, even here in North Carolina. It is a nice fall, cool day. I can hear the leaves rustling outside in my backyard. And while all of these things are actually a feel good to me, I enjoy it. There is a part of me that it brings a little bit of sadness. It's an end of a season. The long nights are gone, the warm days, the going to the pool, or the activities that you do in the summer because you can are now coming to a close, and we are faced with a change of season. I want to apply that same idea to our homeschool. Are you guys starting to feel a little bit of a lull? You've gotten into a routine, you feel like you have a pretty good handle on the material. BookShark has given you a great guide to help you make your days feel full and feel like you've accomplished the things that you need to accomplish. But even in that, even for this routine that we strive for, it can then become, I don't know, almost dull. It feels like the same thing day after day. And if you're not feeling this, then I say amazing. Great. And maybe you won't feel it this year. Maybe you felt it in the past, or just know that it could kind of creep up you on it can creep up on you maybe in another year, and I don't want you to be surprised. But it's completely normal for this season, this cycle in your homeschool, to feel a little bit of a lull. The newness is kind of wearing off. You have a pretty good routine. You're far enough away from the holidays. I think I counted it out. We are like 5 to 6, it might be 6 weeks. I guess I didn't count it out. 6 weeks until Thanksgiving. That's a pretty good gap. I feel like once Thanksgiving comes, it's December is so fast. And then into January, we'll kind of hit another point in our cycle where, we can definitely feel the exhaustion of all that we had done through the holidays. But this 6 weeks ish before that really gets going, even if you're excited about a fall or harvest party, or you're into Halloween and you're getting really excited, you have lots of activities, I think our bodies still feel those shorter days, those cooler evenings, unless you're in Hawaii where you're just in paradise 24/7, and then we could all just be jealous of you and you being able to live in that place. But the rest of us who have this change physically, we can see the change in the environment, we can feel the change in the weather, in our days getting shorter. It does affect us, and we may not even be mindful of it. And so as we look at that in our homeschool, I want to just talk about a few things that you can be mindful of um, as the newness wears off and your routine might start to feel a little bit mundane. One great way is to remember your why. I will say it again and again and again, but if you're sick of me saying that, I'll move on to the next thing. What has gone really well? What is still exciting your child each and every day when they wake up? Because those are the things as homeschool parents we need to focus on. It may not be what excites us. It may not be what even we thought would excite our kids. I know if you're just starting out in homeschool, if you're just starting to use BookShark's curriculum, and even if you've been doing this a while, kids change. You think you know them, and then the next day they wake up, and it doesn't usually happen overnight. But I will say, with my three girls, we had all three home this weekend, which was so much fun. If you get a chance to look at the post about going for a hike, we took a ferry over to Shackleford Island and we saw some wild horses, which I thought was going to be the highlight of the day. It was not. It was actually the ferry to the next island where we saw the lighthouse, and then we were able to walk across and see from the bay, and then we were able to see the Atlantic side, which we live in the most amazing place. It's called the Crystal Cove, so the water is gorgeous. But here I thought, once again, my expectations as a mom, seeing the wild horses or going to look for the wild horses, like that was going to be so amazing. And that's not, that kind of fell flat. And I don't know if you see that in your homeschool. You get really excited about something. Maybe it's your Sunday night planning and you're like, oh, this is really going to get my kid. Like you, and then you get really excited and then it's delivery is flat and they weren't responding the way you thought they were going to. Rest assured, it is not you. It is not the curriculum. It is just the day, the moment, the lack of sleep, too much sugar, not enough sugar. It's all of the things. So I want to encourage you, keep getting excited about things. And even if it falls flat, I think if we are in a position where we're continuing to be the the example of lifelong learning, your kids are going to come along. They are going to soak it up. They can't help but be those types of kids. I will tell you, in my experience now, having two 19-year-olds who came home, just seeing what they are curious about and the things that they do and the type of adventures that they continue to have. And that was not innate, at least in one of my girls. She's not born adventurous. Now, her twin was for sure. She's up for anything. I mean, she's a girl after my own heart. But the other twin was definitely took more after my husband. And so you have to kind of pull that adventurous side of them out, and it can be exhausting as a parent, as a partner, if you're constantly making the plans and fighting everyone to get there, even though you know it's going to be great once we do it. It's the same thing with curriculum. You get this curriculum and you're so excited. You know they're going to love it. You know it's going to be so good. But every day, it doesn't necessarily feel that way. And so you start to feel a little bit down because you're not seeing maybe the results even that you thought you were going to see. And maybe it's not always in the whole thing, right? You are just seeing your child flourish in math or flourish in their writing. It's not going to be all the things at once. So hold on to the things that are being done well and that your kids are liking as they are doing it, because that is important during this season of the lull. All right. Also, what are you doing to set yourself up for success? Are you remembering to take the time and plan out your week prior to it starting? Are you using your calendar? Are you building in those flex days? Are you being flexible in your homeschool? Are you letting the guide just be your guide and not your dictator? I know I sound like a broken record, you guys, but honestly, I have to remind myself of these things, and I am 9 years in. So, um, I want to bring it back to this idea of, I know self care kind of gets a bad rap sometimes, but just remembering doing the things that also make you happy. Are you putting in your earbuds and dancing around to your favorite 90s music? I mean, maybe I'm the only one that does that. I actually put on the Harry Potter series this weekend, and started watching through the movies. And of course, I get eye rolls in my household, but there's something about repetition and that nostalgic about the first time reading those books as an adult, actually, and then my experiencing them with my kids and watching the movies. Of course, I know what's going to happen. I've seen them, but it's about the time of year and the season and just putting them on. And for me, it's a feel good. Now, my husband, it's not a let's watch a movie 100 times that we've already seen. Does not do it for him, and maybe it doesn't do it for you. But what are the things that you want to do that really fill your cup? That I'm not talking about $4,000 vacations to the Caribbean, but just daily habits that you can make sure that you are incorporating into your day that bring you joy, that then bubbles over to your kids, that they can kind of, if they're not feeling quite joyful, they can start to feel your joy. And it definitely is contagious. So, um, just reminding you that there are so many ways to do your homeschool. a different location. If you've tried reading a book, it didn't go over well. Is there an audiobook you can switch to so that you can be doing a different activity with your kids while you're listening? And if that's not the case, let's find the movie. And if none of those things happen, either skip it or replace it. This is the beauty of what you're choosing to do in your education. And trust me, it works. It works 100% of the time. Just do each day what you can do, and you will see by the end of the 36 weeks how far you and your children have come in your homeschool. It's amazing. I promise. All right. Um, okay, are you guys counting down to something special? If your family's into the season of Halloween, are you guys counting down to a party or the time that you guys get to trick or treat if that's what you guys do, or maybe a fall festival that you're going to do? I think the anticipation, building up anticipation, also will bring some joy back into your days. I know that maybe 6 weeks out for Thanksgiving is a little long, so maybe something a little bit closer. Are you guys taking opportunities to bring your learning into real world experiences? Have you just stopped what you're doing in the middle of math and gone to the grocery store and given your kids, I'd say $1, but we all know that doesn't really get you anything in a grocery store, anyways. But breaking up and giving them a set amount and seeing what they can get for that, even if you don't end up buying it, don't even bring money, like just having the fun in a different location of a different way of learning. There are just so many different things that you can do now. I'm going to be honest, I never did that. I didn't. I took my kids grocery shopping and I made them help find the items. I never used it necessarily to teach math, but I can tell you right now that my adult children are able to go to a grocery store. They're able to stay within a budget and they're able to get what they need. So it doesn't always have to be so overtly educational, but getting out of a rut, getting out of a routine if you feel like you're getting a little stuck is important. Maybe you take them to a library and have them find the books that they're reading at home. Like, I mean, there's just so many different things. Going on a nature walk, there is so much out there, you guys, about nature journals and being outside. And if you don't have a nature trail that is close by you, if you're not able to live in a location where that's accessible, literally just go outside. Go outside and make a list of things that you're going to run into, a stop sign, who can find the penny, a unique leaf, something like that. It doesn't have to be extraordinary. It doesn't have to take the whole day, but just these little breakups of your day. If you can pull in the curriculum, something that you're learning, great. If you can't, that's okay too. But I just want to encourage you guys that if you're feeling a little bit of an October lull, it's completely normal. And we're here to help encourage you through yet another season of this homeschool journey. Now, before I go, I want to mention a few things. Okay, let me make sure I'm hitting all of my things here. Oh, one other thing about, the way you can incorporate learning in different ways is make a snack. It doesn't even have to pertain to what you're learning. Honestly, you can make anything pertain to what you're learning, but be creative. If all you have in your cabinet is just a few staple things, like AI is amazing. Our computers are amazing. The internet will tell you what you can make with those few items, and then bring it back somehow to the story that you're reading. It's really not complicated. It just takes some intentionality. It doesn't have to be laborious. It doesn't have to take all day, but throwing in little things to spice up what you're doing is just a great way to feel a little more energized about your curriculum and what you're doing in your day to day with your kids. And if you're so busy, then maybe it's just stepping back and taking a day with no activities and no electronics and just some board games for a couple hours and just enjoy each other and reconnect, because that's also really important. So, all right, we have a pumpkin contest. If you guys haven't heard about it, we would love to see any of your pumpkins. Just tag BookShark. We have a book themed or BookShark themed pumpkin contest. If you tag us on social media, that will enter you a chance to win one of our hands-on. You can pick whichever one that you want. We've got history, we've got the lap books, we have the elections lap book. It's not too late. So be a part of that if you are a family that likes to carve pumpkins. And then I don't want you guys to forget about the brag board. We've had some members post some pictures. I love it. I love that, like if you're uncomfortable posting your kids' faces, do the back of them, a book in front of their face. But if you just want to have a moment where you can brag on your kids and feel like you as a parent are seeing some growth, we want to celebrate with you. And that's what that brag board is about. So, encouraging you guys, post some pictures. We'll change those out and get some new pictures up there as they come in. And I'm really excited to see how you and your family are growing on this experience and this journey. If you have questions, get them posted. We will continue to answer them. I love all of the posts that are going up organically from our members. It's great to see you guys answering each other and interacting and building community. That's what we're here for. So I'm going to let you go. I think we are just at a place where I am encouraging you and your families that in order to build lifelong learners, it's a process. So don't let the October lull get you down. All right, you guys, I'll be back on next week for a real life in homeschool talking about co ops and outings and groups. So I might give you some more ideas on what your homeschool could look like as you incorporate some social activities into your day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.